how'd you get your first TV show? Because you
Will Smith.
Okay.
Will Smith discovered me.
How did that process go?
I'm only nervous to tell Will Smith stories because I'm in Philly. But like his company saw me doing stand up. I've been doing stand up six months, and then they were like, I think you should meet Will. And I met Will, and we got along really well. And then I started getting on TV, and then he was the best thing that ever happened to me.
At what point in his career had he discovered
He was
you?
doing Millennium. He was all right.
Oh boy, man, you're on eggshells here. I can tell.
You're at a loss for
You want to
words.
put your shirt back on?
No.
A shot of rum.
Yes, let's get into whiskey, and I'll tell all these stories. The first time I met Will Smith, they oh man, I hate that I'm telling this right now. They go, hey, you got to meet Will. And I was like, I'd love to. And they're like, great, he's up in the Hit Factory, the Beat Factory. Like, you can go up there and hang out with them. And I was like, great. So I show up, and it's a recording studio, but it's a dance studio with mirrors all around, and there's 2 folding chairs in the center. And they're like, Will be in a second. And so I sit in a folding chair in the middle of the room, and I'm just sitting there, and then all of a sudden Will Smith comes in like a hurricane of personality.
Wow.
Like just one love, gives me a hug, sits down, right face to face, 2 folding chairs, and he just goes, tell me about yourself. So I just start spewing everything you could ever imagine. Like, I was in Creed, I was like, you name it. Like, whatever was interesting about me, I just said everything. We talked for an hour about, and it was one of the greatest, he listened, he replied, and then at the end he goes, I like you. And I was like, awesome. And he goes, what are you doing tonight? I was like, nothing. And he goes, want to go to a movie? And I was like, okay. He was like, meet me at Planet Hollywood at 7. And I was like, all right. And so I leave, and I call my dad. I just got a cell phone. I call my dad, and I go, hey, he goes, how'd it go? I said, awesome. He said, really? I go, yeah, he's a great guy. We really got along. He's like, really? I go, really, Dad? We really got along. He's like, awesome. I go, yeah, we're going to a movie tonight. My dad's like, what? I go, we're going to a movie? And he goes, well, where? I go, Planet Hollywood? And my dad goes, oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I go, what? And he's like, he wants to have sex with you. I go, no, Dad, that's impossible. He goes, no, that's how this works. He goes, the Hollywood stars, sometimes they're gay, and they find young boys like you, and they promise you dreams of Hollywood, but then they just want to have sex with you. I go, Dad, I met Will Smith. He's not gay, I can promise you. He goes, what's more likely? That you're so talented that 6 months in, you're getting a 6-figure development deal to make a sitcom, or that Will Smith might be gay and he wants to have sex with you? I'm like, oh, I'm having sex with Will Smith tonight. So I go home, and I'm debating, how am I going to roll the dice on this? Like, what do I do? Do I show up and then say no? Right. So I go, okay, this is 100% true story. So I'm going to roll the dice. I really don't believe Will Smith's gay. There's no way. So I go up to Planet Hollywood, and I walk up to the front girl, and I go, hey, is Will Smith here? And you can just see the look on her face, like, Will Smith, a movie star, is he at Planet Hollywood? No, that's not happening. She like sends me back to the mannequin of him in Men in Black, and I'm like, no, I mean the real Will Smith. She's like, no, he's not here. And I go, well, do you mind if I just wait for him? And she's like, yeah, you can wait for Will Smith as long as you want. So I'm sitting in Planet Hollywood, and I'm sitting in the waiting room, and all of a sudden, up from a set of stairs that I don't even recognize, comes a 6'7", 350-pound black guy named Charlie Mack. And he looks at me and he goes, you Bert? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, downstairs. And now I'm thinking, great, I got to have sex with this guy too. Let's hope he goes last, right? So he walks me downstairs. There's 10 other black guys in a room with just curtains everywhere and a folding table in the middle. And I'm like, great. Now I'm having sex with these 10 black guys, Charlie Mack, Will Smith. I'm sure he's bringing Jazzy Jeff. That's 13 black guys I got to have sex with. And I just stand there for the entire time, and I just wait. And no one's making eye contact with me. No one's talking to me. They're all just staring at me, like sizing me up. And I'm just standing with my back against the curtain. And I'm sitting, it must have felt like a year. And all of a sudden, Will Smith comes in with Jazzy Jeff. And he's like, hey, guys, this is Bert. And everyone smiles. He goes, this is the guy I was telling you about. And I'm like, here's how it goes down. Like, this is how it happens. Do I take a knee? Like, how do I start this off? Do I initiate? And all 13 black guys start walking directly at me. And all of a sudden, at my heels, I feel the curtain open up, and there's a movie theater behind us. No. Like a real private movie theater. And Will looks at me. He's like, grab us 2 seats. I'm going to get us drinks. What do you want? And I'm like, Long Island iced tea. And I grab us 2 seats and we watched American Pie. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. But literally, the best part is I was like, Will goes, at the end of the movie, he goes, what was the best part of the movie? And I was like, the part where I didn't have sex with 13 black guys. And then he goes, let me introduce you to the guys. This is Cool Mo D. This is Biz Marquee.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, I could have had sex with Biz Marquee. Are you kidding me? But yeah, Will was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. He was and no question about his sexuality whatsoever. It was me thinking that he wanted. I also thought Elliot Gould wanted to have sex with me.
Yeah, that might have been. That could have been.
No, I tried.